ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம். ஓம் நமக் சிவாய. அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய அன்பான காலை வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். I take this opportunity to seek the blessings of our elders, Param Pujya Swamijis, who are sitting here and guiding us, and also the wonderful delegates who are part of this very unique Temple Connect program. At the outset, I take the opportunity to thank and express my heartfelt appreciation for the chairman of this convention, Prasad Ladji, and the founder was instrumental behind making this convention, an event where the whole of Bharat is assembled in Thirupathi today, Girish Kulkarniji. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I am very happy and very delighted. Temple Connect program last year in Varanasi and this year in Tirupati is able to bring our Swamijis, our Adinams, our Gurus, one end. At the other end, very, very young, enthusiastic people. Nowhere I've seen a gathering in which youngsters are present, very passionately. They want to take the temple economics to a different level. Make sure Sanatana Dharma keeps prospering. And at the same time, rediscover what we have lost and bring those things to the mainstream. At the same time, on the other end, we have our elders who are guiding us, helping us to rediscover what we have lost over the last 250 years, trying to bring it back to the mainstream. That is why this gathering is very unique. Passionate youngsters in the one end, and our senior elders in the other end. If you look at many of the global cities, if you take last 1,000 years, the cities which were present 1,000 years before, cities which are present now, many cities have vanished. Cities which have withstood 1,000 years, even now, which are centers of civilization. If you take cities like Varanasi, cities like Madurai, cities like Ujjain, cities like Pushkar. If we take some of the cities, very clearly we can find some of the American cities. Cities like Detroit, around World War II, which were the cradles of automobile manufacturing. It lost 25% of its population between 2000 and 2010. Those cities are fast coming down. At one point of time, big cities. Even now in India, some cities are called Detroit of India. If you go to Coimbatore, a city in which I am living now, they say Coimbatore is Detroit of South India. But if you look at the status of Detroit, it is fast vanishing. Cities like Atlantic City, which is known for its gambling and which is known for its entertainment industry, it is one of the top 10 dying cities in US. It is the 9th out of 10 dying city. So cities which made a name in some sector, some industry, it is all fast going down. But cities which are eternal are our cities in which a temple is the fulcrum of that city. Very clearly from history we can understand. That is why this convention is very important, because we are trying to find a common denominator that is connecting all the temple cities. We are using the word called temple economics. We have heard a lot of economic theory. What is the temple economics? How can temple be the fulcrum of generating economic activity around that area? And more importantly, drive Bharat's growth. We are standing in this very, very holy Tirupati. We are all sitting at the feet of Lord Venkateshwara. This is not a very ordinary temple, not a very ordinary city. This temple is alone worth, if Tirupati Devasthanam is listing in the Indian stock market, its valuation will be 2.5 lakh crore. That will be the valuation of the Tirupati temple. And people have calculated the valuation by using smart metrics. This temple has got close to 10 tons of gold in the bank, 2.5 tons of gold as ornaments, 16,000 crore as bank deposit, 960 properties across India, Bharat. If somebody is doing a smart valuation, it comes to close to 2.5 lakh crore as market cap. To compare Thirupathi Devasthanam to some of the large multinational companies in the world, a company like Nestle, a multinational company more than 100 years old, Nestle is around 2,10,000 crore market cap. If you look some of the big oil companies in India, like ONGC, it is around 1.6 lakh crore. Maybe there is something right Tirupati has done. There is something right that is happening in the Tirupati Devasthanam, which was formed by an act in 1932, which underwent some changes. There is a semblance of government control. At the same time, there is a freedom and autonomy also in the board, which has made Tirupati to be a temple in the last 100 years, especially after 1932, to reach this position, to reach this preeminent position. Nowhere in the world we can boast these numbers. Vatican City has seen 90 lakh people visiting it last year. Mecca, Saudi Arabia, 2 crore visited. The city where we are now, Tirupati, it had 3 crore people visiting it last year. One temple, one city had 3 crore people. Again, if somebody is getting into the economics behind Tirupati, of course, temple is big. Of course, Lord Venkateshwara is blessing us. There is a big market cap. There is a huge amount of money. Whether it is trickling down, Harvard has done a study understanding with respect to Tirupati, what is the market forces that is shaping up the city. If somebody has got the time, if you're looking at the Tirupati city per se, the employment that is getting generated, 38% of employment in Tirupati city is more on the trade, and transportation. It is all linked to the temple economy. 19% is closely linked to food manufacturing, value addition in the food industry. Everything, if you see, this temple, the whole district, the whole ecosystem around this place is connected to the offerings and service of God, which creates millions and millions of employment generation. Unfortunately, in our country, after 1947, for a long time, the Marxist concept of history, it always felt temples are a waste. It always felt temples are a wastage because some old kings who did not have any job, just to create labor and employment, they built temples. That is a Marxist version of history that was prevalent in our country for a long, long time. When we talk about Ayodhya, where Lord Ram is majestically back there, and even now in our country, the debate is, what is the point of spending so much money? Who spent that money? Whether it is worth it? In states like Tamil Nadu, even people sitting in government will say, Government of India is wasting so much money in Ayodhya. That is a narrative they try to set. But for common people like you and me, we understand what Ayodhya is trying to do. 85,000 crore investment going to happen in the next 10 years. Crores of people visiting. The kind of economic activity Ayodhya is generating, it is going to have a trickle-down economics to the last person. The person who is involved in the flower business, the person who is assembling the flower, right from agarbatti, right from the puja saman, right from the manufacturing. It is going to create a huge ecosystem that is going to be built around temple economics. The last 10 years we can confidently say, from Kasi to Ujjain to Ayodhya to Puri Jagannathar. Now if you look at all the places with the modernization, the money that is getting invested, we are seeing straight away a 20% jump of tourists who want to go there. That is very, very important in our country. We are seeing this rebirth of temple economics. We are seeing this rebirth of common people going to a center of worship, which was standing there for 1,000 years. But maybe in the last 250 years, they never had the opportunity to go and see this pristine place. Now, since it is happening, a new kind of market forces operate. If we wait for another 5-10 years, we can clearly bring out papers. On Kashi Vishwanatha temple, we can clearly bring out papers to say what the temple is, how many people visited, the trickle-down economics, how many people getting benefited, the total footfall. Again for temple in Ujjayi we can bring, again for Ayodhya we can bring, again for Puri Jagannathar temple we can bring. That is why I'm very happy. This convention is acting as a catalyst, bringing all the eminent people across India, ideating, generating knowledge, trying to create a common platform where all of us together we can come, we can talk about how in the future temple can drive the economics of Bharat 25 years from now. Because I'm very, very confident Bharat has got 35 lakh temples, big and small. If I'm talking about my own state, Tamil Nadu has got 79,000 temples, 44,121 temples are under the direct control of HR and CE. We have 604 temples that are more than 1,000 years old. But the temples in Tamil Nadu are an entirely different story. If anybody is having an interest, if they try to understand what is happening in Tamil Nadu, what is happening in temples in Tamil Nadu, HR and CA, it is all in shambles. 604 temples more than 1,000 years old, but many people might not even know the names of more than 10. HRNC, which came in 1925, the current Dravidian party, the previous Avatar Justice Party, the only aim was to throttle. The only aim was to take the spiritual base out of Tamil Nadu. Right from 1926, the first act, the major act which came in 1951. If you look at this whole story, it is a story, a classical story, which will tell us how not to manage and run a temple. A beautiful state, a spiritual state like Tamil Nadu, where the state government has appointed endowment officers illegally, EOs, who control even our puja should be done, who control right up to the puja articles purchase, who without any training try to repair temples which are 1,000 years old by a cement and mortar, without even having an idea the kind of damage they are doing to a historic place. Now, in Tamil Nadu, over the last 2-3 years, there is a lot of fight happening. There is an awakening that is happening, where BJP, the party to which I belong to, we are very clear. Come 2026, one of our central manifesto point, when the NDA and BJP will come to power, day one, we will remove HRNCE Act from Tamil Nadu. All the temples of our state will get freed. Because we are very clear, we are not mentioning this as a political slogan. The reason we are mentioning this is because we have data to back it up. 1986, when the HRNC department published its first policy paper, it had 5,25,000 acres of land under its control. Can you believe? A state which has got thousands of temples, where 44,000 temples are under the direct control of HRNCE. The total acreage they were managing in 1986 is 5,25,000 acres. 10 years later, when they published the second policy paper in 1996, they lost 60,000 acres. Nobody knew what happened to that 60,000 acres because it all went in encroachment. After that, they stopped publishing policy papers. This is a state, this is a temple which officially from 2023 July to 2024 March, for a point of 9 months, total generation, total money that is generated by Tamil Nadu temples is 310 crore. Can somebody believe this? Such a huge temple base, 44,000 temples, direct control of HRNCE, 600 temples more than 1,000 years old. The money they have generated is 310 crore rupee. If I'm digging slightly deep, total land holdings now, 4.5 lakh acres, we have lost approximately 1 lakh acres now. Square feet of site managed by temples, 29 crore 14 lakh. Building square feet, 2 lakh 45,000 crore. This is an asset that Tamil Nadu HRNC manages across all parts of Tamil Nadu. 4.5 lakh acre, 29 crore square feet of site, 2 crore square feet of buildings. If you look at the market rent, if somebody has got a time, they go to that place, they find that building, they put a market rate to it. As per our calculation, every year, bare minimum, they should generate 8,000 crore every year, bare minimum. But unfortunately, politicians have taken control of many of this. 50-year lease, 99-year lease. There are some properties in Tamil Nadu taken by some people, 1 rupee lease for 99 years. It belongs to temple. They're taken it for 1 rupee 99 years. They're just holding it. So that is why the revenue that is shown is just a matter of 300 crore, which is the official document they have published for 9 months. So we are very clear, in the last 20 years, if we put market rate to all the temples mismanaged by the HRNC department in Tamil Nadu, it is close to 95,000 crore of unrealized rent that has happened in Tamil Nadu alone. This could have funded our midday meal schemes for the last 20 years. This is the biggest problem. Now all of us are fighting to make sure the temples of Tamil Nadu realize their pure potential. In the open market, an economics is built around the temple. Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, there was a controversy. 50 meters from the Meenakshi Amman temple, there is a beef stall. Somebody is cutting a non-vegetarian there. Because it is thoroughly mismanaged. There is no interlinkage connections. The whole ecosystem is not brought in a single place. Only the boundary walls of a temple are managed by an act, but not the areas around the temple which can be regulated. So people don't want to go, no toilets. Even in Thaipusam day, when millions of people march towards Lord Muruga's sacred abode, you will see lakhs of women and children marching in the road, walking with their bare foot to Lord Muruga's temple. We will not find a single toilet. And people have to wait in queues. And people don't even, over a time what happens? People will start losing their faith in God. The problem with Dravidian politics in Tamil Nadu, which they clearly wanted, right from 1926, they felt you start mismanaging temples. You start taking the spiritual angle out of the places where temples are there. Slowly the next generation of people will start losing their faith in Sanatana Dharma. And over a point of time, you can make this state as a so-called secular, the secular word that is defined in most India by the Marxist historians. That is why we are fighting this as a matter of principle. That is why we are very clear, this has to be released from them. If I go one step further, again if you look at HRNC audits, the government spends. HRNC is the only department in Tamil Nadu which refuses to submit itself to CAG. Even after the Madras High Court said the HRNC has to submit itself to the CAG so that we can audit it, a paper can come out, common people like you and me can know what exactly wrong in the temple. As of now, March 2023, there are 1,87,000 audit objections pending from 1986. Audit objections are pending. How they purchased it, where they purchased it, what is the commission, nobody knows. That is why we keep telling the endowment officers are sitting inside Tamil Nadu temples only as commission agents to loot the temple's money, to suck the temple out of the hard-earned pilgrims' revenue. Now, if I am going one step further, who gave permission to appoint the endowment officers? Because many a time, many of our Adinams have gone to Supreme Court. In 1951, the Dharmapuram Adinam, Srila Sri Subramaniya Desikya Jnana Sambandha Pandara Sannadi Ayya, he went to Supreme Court stating, it is an Adinam temple. Tamil Nadu government doesn't have any right to appoint an EO. So based on this, in 1965 judgment, Supreme Court has cancelled government control over 45 temples. It said you cannot have an EO. These temples are something like Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, Srirangam Rangaratha Swami temple, Thiruvannamalai Arunachala Swami temple, Tiruchendur Subramaniya Swami temple. Again, the Tamil Nadu government committed a fraud. In 1965, the same year after the Supreme Court judgment came, they added section 75A, B and C in the act to say, okay, the Supreme Court has given a judgment, we can't immediately come out, we will hold it for 1 more year, After 1 year, the government will come. At the same time, the law says, if there is any fight that is happening in the temple, if anybody can come and give a complaint to HRNC department, HRNC department has got the right to appoint an EO for 5 years. Now, based on this fraud, they keep appointing EOs, and that is why recently when somebody went to the court to ask for the appointment letters of all the executive officers in Tamil Nadu, HRNC says we have 600 EO. They couldn't produce appointment letters for 450 executive officers. So it is a constitutional fraud that is happening in the state of Tamil Nadu by the HRNC department, where 450 executive officers are illegally appointed without paper, because whenever the court is asking, they'll always find a way. If common man like you and me, we go to the court for a particular temple, fight it out, then the HRNC lawyer, he comes with a 20,000 page document. They will bury you in paperwork. A common man, a temple administrator, a private temple guy, an adinam has to fight it again and again and again. It will drag for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. That is why many of the temples in Tamil Nadu are dragged in court cases where the HRNC has buried them in pages and pages of documents. So though it is an opportunity for me in this platform to talk about the vision that we have for Tamil Nadu, at the same time I'm talking about the lacuna and the problems that the state is currently having. That is why we are very, very clear. Day one, when Lord Venkateshwara gives us the opportunity for NDA to come to power, we want to remove this illegal act and free all the 44,121 temples free from HRNC. Then, just imagine the kind of temple economics we will be able to generate. The money that temples can generate, temples with the money in Tamil Nadu, the kind of hundi collection that happens, it can run all the government schools around the temple, it can run. It can take care of all the civic infra of that particular city. It can run engineering schools. It can also run centers of excellence for science. That is the kind of revenue, even at the mismanaged level, Tamil Nadu temples are able to generate. That is why it is so heartening for us to see when there is an Ayodhya, temple economics wise, when it makes sense. When Kashi Vishwanatha temple, temple economics wise, when it makes sense. When Ujjain, temple economics wise, when it makes sense. It gives lot of confidence for a common man. Even 70, 80 years of Dravidian political brainwashing, they will get that confidence seeing every time somebody travels to Kumbh Mela. Every time they see the meticulous organization that is happening. Every time they see 60, 70 crores of people coming there, very peacefully going out. Every time when people see that, their faith on Sanatana Dharma, especially for the youngsters, will keep increasing. Because it is very important in this age and time where everything is questioned. For everything, people want a science rationality. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Only when people go and see how temples are beautifully managed, no semblance of VIP control, everybody treated fairly and equally, everybody standing in the queue even for 30 minutes, but somebody not bypassing the queue simply because he's an VIP, then it reinstills a lot of faith in Sanatana Dharma that everybody is treated equally and everybody will go there equally. The second one, I think it is also important, a conscious call for Sanatana Dharma to gain more deep roots into anybody who is criticizing us. Not only we do a temple economics, but also the concept of Dharma, we bring it back. In the sense, no VIP culture. All temples should be riddled, should be free of the VIP culture that is prevalent in many of the temples, where a common man comes, waits in the queue, but there is a certain class of people who have got the privilege to go there, do the darshan and come out. I think that is also something which, as a person, I believe that is very, very important for us to get connected with the youngsters so that they know everybody is treated fairly and equal. So these are the small things at a conscious level we can start doing. And more importantly, in Tamil Nadu, if you look at the age-old Dharmanomics, right from Rajaraja Cholan's period, Chola period, if I'm again going thousands of years back, right from the Brihadeeswara temple, the whole temple is not only grandly constructed, but also a system was put in place by the Cholas to make sure the temple economics goes down deep. Even for the fuel which is needed for lighting up the lamp, Even for the ghee that is needed, they went to such meticulous level to decide if there is a poor family of that area, 6 sheep will be given to them, and the ghee that is coming from that sheep will be used in the temple. And once the sheep gives birth to their offspring, they have gone to that detailing to say, when somebody, after achieving 6 sheep, should gift the 7th sheep to another guy who doesn't have a sheep. To that level of detailing, in Tanjavur Brigadishwara temple, if somebody has got the time to decipher the inscriptions, they have mentioned. Even for destitute women, there are clear rules written 1000 years back in our Dharmanomics, who should take care. A married woman without children, temple should take care. A person who's differently able, temple should take care. To that level of detailing, temples were acting as a centers of dharma, a bridge between the privileged and not so privileged. That point of time, we didn't have a law. It is all inscribed in stone, so that none of us can deviate from what is there. I'm very, very sure coming years, with the blessings of elders, Sanatana Dharma and Dharmanomics model from Bharat, maybe in 25 years, 50 years from now, it should go across the world as a model for equality, as a model for fraternity, as a model where people can come together, as a model temple will be the arbiter between the haves and the have-nots. So there is no underestimate in any parts of the world. I think that is a larger vision. To reach there, it is very important. The temple cities and temples, they become centers of excellence. It is very important, especially in a state like Tamil Nadu, the temples are completely freed from the HRNC department. It is more important, very important, more than that, once freeing the old model in which the temples were run by a group of trustees. Now people can say, okay, you have freed it, day one. After freeing it, will it lead to more chaos? The whole idea of bringing this act, because they felt it is dominated by the priestly class. The Dravidian forces are very happy to use the word called Brahmin domination. That's how the politics of Tamil Nadu is for the last 50, 60, 70 years. They say, no, the Brahmin class will come and dominate temple. That is why in 1926 we freed. If anybody has got free time to roam around Tamil Nadu temples, we see temples, how beautifully it is structured. Different caste groups, they do puja in temple. For example, my Kuladevada temple, it is not a so-called forward caste which does puja. It is a so-called backward caste who will do a puja, and all of us will stand there and take prasad. That is there for the last 350 years. Temples are in Tamil Nadu, where a lot of our mothers and sisters, they are chief puja. It is all there for 100 of years. There are temples where our scheduled caste brothers and sisters, they are the chief pujaris in main temples, and everybody will stand in line. But somehow, in the 250 years of mischievous history, all these are undocumented. After HRNC has come, they have taken it whole, and they're trying to do a lot of nonsense. I think it is very important. We have to go back to the roots. And many temples were built by certain communities, owned by certain communities, and they had a very prescribed way. We are very clear. We have a model to run temples once we free it. And this model is based on fraternity. This model is based on equality. This model can make temple more accessible to all the people, unlock the revenue potential of all the offerings inside the temple, and more importantly, generate trickle-down economics which can go down well. So I thank the Temple Connect program for giving me an opportunity to come here and want to talk about what is wrong in Tamil Nadu temples, the constitutional fraud that is happening, and the fight. Millions of people are fighting. There are people, hundreds of people who have dedicated their whole lives to take HRNC only to court. That is one side that has happened. But what is more important is the political change. The people giving their verdict to a political party to come and usher in this change. That is one part. And second, the temple economy that is happening in our country, that is creating a model for other temples to emulate. That is one part. A famous temple like here, TDD, which is a beacon of hope. A temple that is well managed, 2.5 lakh crore asset that we are looking. And coming years, more people will start going to temples. We will only see increasing number of people going. That number is not going to come down. We are seeing 20% year-on increase to increase where temples are well maintained. That is the only way, I believe, of uniting Bharat, not by giving fancy speeches by politicians. One temple starts opening up, people starts visiting a temple. A South Indian visiting Kashi, South Indian visiting Ayodhya. somebody from the northern part, Uttarakhand, visiting Rameshwaran temple, somebody visiting Meenakshi, somebody visiting Palani, somebody visiting all the temple. That is how always Bharat was built. People visiting temples, people forgot their language, people didn't knew the difference between them. Once we start doing it and reconnecting it back, Bharat will always be connected, and I'm very sure God will give all of us an opportunity to be a part of this massive process in the future. I again take the opportunity of the organizers who are sitting here for giving me an opportunity to come and present here some humble viewpoints. I'm very, very